What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a Q&A. As always, if you have any questions or you like this series, please leave some comments down below with some questions you have. Again, that's where I get the questions from, and sometimes I include questions I might get from people via Facebook or maybe some of the athletes that I work with. But yeah, need questions to keep this going, so please comment down some below. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first question I got was whether I think powerlifting should be a 2-hour weigh-in or a 24-hour weigh-in. Okay, so respectively speaking, drug-free federations in Britain anyway, the GBPF, which is an affiliation to the IPF, and the BDFPA, which is an affiliation to the WDFPF. So usually kind of the two main drug-free organisations are both 2-hour weigh-ins. And usually non-drug tested organisations tend to be 24-hour weigh-ins. You know, so you might weigh in at say 12 o'clock the day before, and you compete the day after, so you get a 24-hour weigh-in. Now there's benefits, there's pros and cons to both. You know, so first and foremost, what would I prefer to see? Well, as an athlete, I am always going to look for that little bit of an edge on my performance, and I think I'd be a little bit stupid not to pick something that isn't going to benefit my performance a little bit more. Now, with me being in the 120 kilogram class, what is going to benefit me more? Well, being as big and as heavy as possible in that class while being able to make weight. Now, with the 2-hour weigh-in, I sit around 122 to 123 kilograms, and I usually cut about 2 to 3 kilos, and then I do my best to rehydrate and refuel within the 2 hours. Now, if I was doing a 24-hour weigh-in, I probably could quite comfortably walk around at about 126 or 127 kilos and cut about 6 or 7 kilos, you know, maybe even as high as 128, and water cut 8 kilos, and I've got 24 hours to rehydrate. Now as well, on competition day, eating and drinking food and drinking water and other stuff is things that I struggle to do. When I get nervous, I get quite an upset stomach, and keeping food down has been a big issue and something that I'm really working on. You know, I'm going to be doing some stuff that I'll talk to you about later on. That I'm going to be trying this prep leading into Euros that might help me. Now, with a 24-hour weigh-in with rehydrating, I could eat quite a lot in the morning and then go to the competition when I arrive, probably be able to, you know, already be fueled. So from a competitive standpoint, you know, I'm going to have to go with the 24-hour because I think it'd be, you know, me as a competitor, I'm always going to look for that little bit of an edge. Now, from a more rational point of view or a more non-biased point of view, I think the 2-hour weigh-ins are pretty cool because, you know, the weight classes are the weight classes that people are walking around at. So, you know, on 24-hour weigh-ins, some people might compete in the 275 pounds class or the 125 kilos, but walk around at 140 kilograms, you know. So what the weight class that they're in isn't the weight that they actually are. So that's what I think is quite cool about the 2-hour weigh-in. What do I think it should be? I have no real preference on it, you know. I don't mind. I'm not really swayed either way. I see the pros and cons for both. If I had to pick, I would pick 24 hours because I would just look for that little bit of an edge as an athlete. But I think the 2 hours are pretty cool because you get to what people are competing at, they tend to walk around at. So next question: why do you peak for Great Britain squad sessions? Surely it would be better to carry on the programme to Euros or the European Championships. You're already the top 120 lifter by far. Just asking because I'm going to GB squads next week. Okay, cool. Well, that is correct. I am #1 ranked in the nominations by a relatively considerable amount, which is pretty cool. You know, that's a first. You know, pressure's on. You know, but yeah, we're going to bring home gold without a shadow of a doubt back to Scotland and then be European champion. But I digress. I didn't peak for squads. That was part of the programme. You know. I deloaded, and by deload, you know, so the week before, or the week off, so on the Sunday I was training at the GB squads, and it was just my 4th training session of the week. That's what it was. I hit a 290 kilo squat for a double, and then I hit some back offsets. I hit like a 165 kilo bench press for a triple, and then some back offsets, and then on the deadlift day I hit a 300 kilo deadlift for a single with some back offsets. And then on the Friday, I hit a squat, bench and deadlift session at 75% respectively. And then I hit a 300 kilo for a triple, 175 for a triple, and then 300 for a triple and deadlifts at squads. So I didn't peak for it. I had a by deload. I didn't deload intensity. I slightly deloaded the volume. And no, so I didn't. You're right. It wouldn't make very much sense for me to be the top 120 and peak for a mock meet to then do it again 8 weeks. So keep things going. So I didn't. However, if you are on the kind of verge of making the team, or on the horizon of making the team, peaking for that would be a good choice, because you peaked and put in a great performance, improved a lot from the Great Britain Championships, the British Championships. The coaches would be able to see, okay, this person's improved a lot. He's going to make the team, and so that's why it'd be quite important. The next question: I work out in my garage like you used to, except I don't have a glute ham raise and only have a barbell, rack, dumbbells, and bands. In that situation, what would your favourite hypertrophy accessories for quads and hamstrings? I normally squat with a medium stance and raised heel shoes, and do a wide sumo pull for my competition lifts, if any of that is relevant. Thank you. What is relevant? And what would I do to maximise hypertrophy in your legs? First and foremost, I would try and make sure that you are in a calorie surplus. That's the first and the most important thing. Let's have you in a calorie surplus. Well, it's not the most important thing, but it's up there. So first and foremost, have you in a calorie surplus. Secondly, hydration. Always make sure that you are hydrated every single day. Thirdly, sleep. Let's make sure you're getting as much sleep as you can with your lifestyle to maximise your potential to grow. And fourth, I would recommend squatting and deadlifting primarily. We know that a muscle can only contract and relax. So for example, your bicep can only go through elbow flexion and elbow extension. No matter how you're taking that bicep through flexion and extension, whether you're doing barbell rows, chin-ups, pull-ups, bicep curls, cable curls, as long as you progress the weight over time, that bicep is going to get bigger if the things I just spoke about are present. So with your legs, it's the same thing. Squats, we know that the two main things that promote growth over time is number one, mechanical tension, which is simply adding weight to the bar, so getting stronger, and number two is metabolic fatigue, which is increasing volume over time. Well, we know that if your programming is set up correctly, as each cycle goes on, you should be getting stronger. So more weight is going to be on the bar, and over time your volume will be needing to increase to continue increasing your lifts. So over time you're going to need to do more volume to keep getting better, because your body will adapt. Well, what is volume? We know volume is intensity times by reps times by sets. So if you start off with 100, say you're doing 100 kilos once a week for three sets of 5, okay? Well, that's 500 kilograms of volume per set, and that's 1,500 kilograms of volume per squatting, okay? Say you do that twice a week, that's 3,000 kilograms worth of squat volume, okay? Let's just say in a year and a half, you're doing 200 kilograms for 3 sets of 5. Well, you will have doubled your squat volume, okay? If you did that twice a week, you would have doubled your squat volume from a year and a half ago, okay? So by getting maximally stronger, your volume has increased, because the weight is higher, therefore it's weight times reps times sets, and because the weight's higher, your volume's higher. So if we know that those are the two main factors, and we know we're going to improve your mechanical tension or getting stronger over time, and as a byproduct your volume's going to increase over time, and we also intelligently increase your volume, well, we know we are doing the two main things that incur growth. So with those two things that incur growth, and we are on top of a calorie surplus, sleeping as much as possible with what your lifestyle is, making sure you're hydrated and keeping you injury free as possible, you're going to get bigger. To me, that is the main thing. Doing accessory work with things like maybe some remaining deadlifts, some front squats, maybe if you do a low bar squat, doing a high bar squat, things like that. Accessories. I would use those accessories to improve your main movements, but again, that will be increasing volume over time, which will be encouraging some more growth. So that is kind of my opinion on it. The final question is, do you plan on competing for as long as possible, or do you have a retirement age achievement you'd like to hit? That is a great question. So I like to break everything down into a goal-by-goal basis. So this is my last year as a junior, so I have my goals as a junior. So I want to defend the Scottish and British Championships this year. So I want to be a 3-time Scottish champion. I want to be a 3 times British champion in 3 years in a row. I want to win the European, the Commonwealth and the World Championships as well. I'm the favourite for the Europeans by a long shot. I'm not sure about the Worlds, but again, I'm not really that interested, and I will win them, you know. So I want to be Scottish, British, Commonwealth, European and World Champion this year, which I will do. So that is what I want to do. After my junior year, my goal is to go up to the 120 plus kilo class, and I want to get as strong as I possibly can. That is my current goals. I try and live my life at a day-by-day basis. I don't like to plan that far ahead. It's just not me, you know. I just like to take everything one day by day. I've got these goals for this year. I don't know where I'll be, who I'll be, and what I'll be wanting to do in a year's time, you know. So do I have a retirement age? No. Right now, with the mindset I'm in, I would love to compete and literally till the day I die. You know, literally love to just keep competing and do as long as possible until the day I die. Now, I don't know where I'll be in 10 years. I don't know where I'll be in 20 years. Situations might change, and situations likely will change. But for right now, I would like to probably compete until the day I die. But like I always say, take everything one day at a time, and eventually it'll all make sense in 10, 15 years. So that's the Q&A, guys. Anyone that sent questions, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Again, please leave some more questions, and I'll speak to all of you in the next video.